All right, so let's go through and let's get our contacts out of eEdge. So there has been an update to MyKW, so the eEdge control panel is no longer there. It's not showing up anymore. Now it's a command login button when you go into MyKW. However, you can still access your eEdge. We just have to go directly to eEdge. So the easiest way is if you know your website address or your website URL through eEdge, which if you're not an eEdge Pro subscriber, that website address is going to end in .kwrealty.com. So it's most likely your first initial and your last name .kwrealty.com or your first name and last name .kwrealty.com. So for example, mine could be mrichter.kwrealty.com or it could be martyrichter.kwrealty.com. So I do happen to know mine, so I'm going to jump over to my website here. So I'm on my website, my eEdge website, and when I scroll all the way to the bottom, there's an admin login link. I'm going to click admin login, and this is where you're going to put in your eEdge login information. Now, if you don't know it because you were signing into MyKW and then jumping in there, you probably have to use the forgot username or password link at the bottom here, where you could enter in your external email address, which is most likely going to be your KW email address, or it could be a custom email if you have one set up. This would be the email address that you had in the back end of eEdge. And then you'll put in your agent website address. So for example, showing me here, so I could put in martyrichter.kwrealty.com or mrichter.kwrealty.com or whatever my address is, and go ahead, check that you're not a robot, and recover. It's going to send you an email where you can go ahead and reset that password. Once you get that password reset, come back to this screen, and we are on mymarketleader.com. You can access it through here. It's just a little easier to go to your site and click the admin at the bottom. So we're going to log in. Give it just a second while it gets into eEdge. And now that it's in, there's two ways we can export contacts. Both of them are going to be under the Contacts tab at the top. So if I click Contacts and then Export Contacts. Now, the first way, and I'd recommend doing this regardless, is to leave your contact groups blank. So leave it as saying Select Options, and leave your contact statuses set to all, or set it to all if it's not already there. Go ahead and click Export. Just momentarily, this should give you an exported CSV of all of your contacts. Now keep in mind, any saved searches, anything like that, and notes do not export. So if you have particular contacts that have notes, you're going to want to go into those contact records and copy and paste those probably into the notes within their contact record in Command, or at minimum into a Word document or somewhere where you have record of those. So that's how to do a full export. Alternatively, if I had all of my contacts split up into groups, I could go through and select one group at a time, all statuses, and export that. Then I would most likely want to go in, open this file, and rename it so that I know which group it is. Because when you do the master export of all of your contacts, the group names are not listed. Then I could go through, select my next group, and export. Select my next group and export. Keep in mind you're going to want to rename them as you go so you know what groups they came from. This is going to give you the exported CSV files so that at least we have record of these before eEdge is totally gone and we don't have access. And we can then get those copied and pasted into the command import template, which is another step. We just wanted to make sure that you could get those contacts exported so that they could then go into command later.